Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm working on a 1998 Honda Accord. This specific vehicle is an automatic and has the 3.0 VTEC. Today we will be solving an issue getting code P0401 and P1491. Both of these codes are issues caused by your EGR valve. Here is the valve here, and I'm going to show you how to remove and replace this valve. If you have these codes, this will fix the problem. You will see that the OEM part for this vehicle runs almost $200 to replace this valve. You can pull this off and clean it really thoroughly with a wire brush and alcohol. And so the first thing when replacing the EGR valve on the 98 Honda Accord with the V6 is you have this plenum here. You will use a flathead screwdriver and just turn both the fasteners counterclockwise, and this piece will just lift straight up. Once you have this plenum cover off, you can press down on the tab for your EGR valve here for the electrical harness and just pull it straight back. For the sake of the video, I'm actually going to remove the vacuum lines right here, just so that you have a clear view of what I'm doing. Alright, so in order to remove these lines, you have 4 hose clamps, and one here, one here, and then 2 on this side right here. So there'll be a little bit of antifreeze that comes out of this lower hose, so, or no, that'll be the upper hose. So just have a little pan or a rag right here. It'll be a very small amount, and then make sure that you put your clamps in a safe spot so that you don't misplace them or drop them down in the engine compartment. When going to remove this, you'll need a 12mm socket. I recommend using 1/4" drive. They're a little bit thinner sockets, so you can get them in here easy, or you'll need just a regular wrench to get on there. So these are nuts that you'll be taking off. Make sure that you don't drop them. Don't want to lose those. Alright, so I'm going to pull up on this, and there we have it. I ended up going with a Wells brand, which is a reliable brand, equivalent to OEM. Alright, so now we will compare our old one to our new one here. And this one does still have the metal gasket on it. It's sort of stuck on there. I did order a replacement gasket already. Came with this, with the new EGR valve. So I'll be using that. And then you'll just reinstall it in the same order that you remove this one. When installing your new gasket, make sure you clean this surface, make sure there's no debris or anything on it, and then you could take your new gasket here. It only will go on one way. I mean, it doesn't matter if you flip it or not, but you can see that this hole lines up, and so does the one in the back here. And once you have that in place, go ahead and seat your new EGR valve. Feels nice there. I'll get those bolts started, and then we'll torque that down. The torque specifications on this will be 16 foot-pounds for each bolt. Just to clarify to everybody, these hoses do not have to come out in order to remove and replace this, but it does make it much smoother to just remove these 2 hoses here. They are hard lines. You have one that goes to the air plenum there, and then you have one that's just a little coolant line there. So it's up to you, but if you want to save yourself the hassle of trying to work in there, removing this is very simple and quick. So now I'm going to go ahead and reinstall these lines, make sure all 4 of my hose clamps are back in place, and then I will put dielectric grease on this fitting and plug it back into the EGR valve. Alright, so I'll just explain this real quick. So here is dielectric grease. You could buy it in very small quantities, or in this case I buy it in a large one. So this here, everybody has their own little twerks that they like to do. In my case, I like to put dielectric grease on any kind of electrical connections to help prevent any moisture or anything like that getting on the connection. So I live in Washington, so we get a lot of moisture around here. So I just put a little bit on there and then snap it in. And it helps just prevent any corrosion or anything like that for future, and it keeps good contacts. So there we have that. Now I will reinstall this upper plenum piece here. I only have one of the screws for this. It was already gone. So I'm going to go ahead and reinstall that. And then I'm going to erase the engine codes. So if you do not have a scanner and you want to erase your engine codes, you could take your battery terminals off and just leave them off for a little while. Turn the headlights on with the battery disconnected, and it'll help drain any power that is still in the system. So go ahead and do that, or just erase it with a scanner. The other thing is you could drive to the local parts store, and I'm sure they would erase it for you as well. To keep in mind if you do decide to disconnect your battery is that you may need a new stereo code if you still have the original stereo in this vehicle. If you do need that, check out my other videos and I'll show you how to get that. And thank you again for watching. Erasing your engine codes with a scan tool. You can find your OBD2 connector underneath the driver's side, right near the hood latch. Thank you everyone that is watching, and please feel free to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment, and I will answer any questions you may have fairly quickly. Thank you again.